Okay, hello collectives. How you guys doing? Get your coffees and teas. Come and join me for a channel message about insight about my connection with my person, which is Floyd Harmon, and all four of my children, and how my kids got removed out of my custody by this man, Floyd Harmon, working with family members in my family to get my kids removed out of my custody. Okay, by doing a form of destiny swiping at that too. Okay. So y'all get real comfortable. Get real comfortable because I got me some water. I'm soaking my feet and I got me a cup of coffee and I'm just chilling. But what decided me to go ahead and make this video. Day before yesterday, yeah, they talking outside of my window. They listen. No, we don't care. Be quiet. Thank you. So first of all, what made me make this video, I had a conversation with my son. Okay, my son kept calling me, asking me about some money. Did I get the money? Did I get some money? I'm like, no, baby, I ain't getting no money. This, that, and the third. And he kept just texting me all day. And they're basically trying to use my son to get under my skin, trying to break that relationship up between me and my kids. I'm a spiritualist. Okay, I'm a seer. I'm a slash energy reader. I have psychic abilities. I know what this person is doing behind the scenes. But before all of this shit happened, I want to speak up on something that I didn't do that was on my page. Like I think it was like May 4th or May 5th. I had a video footage that I recorded about Floyd stating about getting my kids kidnapped and by the police and things like that. I didn't load that video. I didn't load it. How would I say this? I didn't really know what all he said. It was just certain things that I thought I loaded all the videos, honestly. I didn't take my time to go back to the page because they were spiritual attacking me. When I tell you attacking me, they were sending people to my home, 2 and 3 different people, different men that didn't live here. I caught each and every one of them on video. It had got to the point where these people upstairs before me moved out. So they just did a smear campaign on me. It was a lot happening in that progress for me to try to keep up with everything that was happening. So now, it kind of calmed down to the point where I can start explaining myself, but I don't want to get upset. I don't want to be frustrated in the information that I'm releasing to you. So I believe the divine is balancing things out for me where I can speak my truth, where I can get justice to be served, not only for me, but for my children, because they have no understanding or knowledge about what really happened. They don't. My kids are blind to what happened. Okay? Like, this is what made me actually start doing this, to go ahead and do the video too. And the situation is that my kids are really, they're really not aware. But I'm going to just say this. The third party was in my energy. And she said, go watch your videos. And I said, what? And she said, go watch your videos. So I go watch my videos and I hear the video about my person saying that I didn't get the police to go and kidnap your kids or nothing like that. So I'm like, what the fuck? Because I kept watching this reader. I watched True TV and they were saying stuff about, how they go in the Rams and try to rape our kids and have sex with our children and being like lustful spirits around our children, trying to destiny swipe our children, trying to project their hurt and pain upon on innocent souls, innocent children. And it kind of broke down to what was leading to happen today. Now she put this video out yesterday, back to back. Okay. And I was putting videos out back to back day before yesterday. And I just had a feeling she was going to put out readings, but I just didn't know when. So I'm tuning in and I'm listening. She made a comment about, them, like I stated, going in the Rams trying to, do stuff to our children. And my son's girlfriend said, when you called me talking about you had a bad dream. I'm like, what? So I didn't say nothing. Or I think the phone hung up or something happened where the conversation was end up changing. We ended up changing the conversation. Then I ended up calling back and I said, well, Vernon, you all right? I said, did you have a bad dream? He said, what you talking about? It was like he was scared to admit what was happening, but it was told to him not to say what's happening, get somebody else to say it. That's how I felt. And the girl said what my son told her. And I heard that. So ever since then, it's like the readers they've been tuning in on my phone calls about them coming to my kids, going to them in a dream state, trying to penetrate my children's dream state, coming for my children. Okay, trying to swipe the destiny swipe, or project pain or conflict or confusion, or mentally or emotionally attack them in some type of way. Okay, to exchange of energies. And I would notice my son call me. He would call me and hang up, little things like that. And it would get to me because he at the age where, he got the little snake attitude and little funky little ways or whatever. And that's cool because he's a boy. I get it, okay? I was a tomboy, okay? That's why God blessed me with all 4 boys, okay? And I'm not too pressed about him hanging up. That's a boy. A boy ain't going to be all, mama this, mama that. But they can get under the skin, I can tell you that. Okay, so moving forward to say, like I stated, this is what guided me to do this reading. My son was explaining to me, like, I end up sitting him, and this is all the divine. This is really the divine kind of guiding this, because my son called me and said, Mama, no, he texted me and said, you doing tarot? I said, I just put laughing emojis. And in the back of my mind, I was thinking tacos. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know why. Taco Tuesday. So today is Tuesday or something. I don't know why the fuck I thought about tacos. But I thought about tacos. I ain't gonna even lie. Today is Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. Taco Tuesday was yesterday. But I thought of tacos. And I bust out laughing or whatnot or what have you. And I just thought it was kind of funny because I'm like, how would he know this? And while I'm talking to him, I'm cheesing like, boy, what did you talking about? Basically in denial because I want to protect the fact that them knowing that I'm protecting them during the readings. And they don't understand when I say protect during the readings. They never actually just watch me give information out about my story. They don't know what went on. They don't understand what went on, okay? So I'm glad that God has them in that moment where they're blindsided because it's protecting them from them not to know right now. It's not safe for them to know right now. Me as a parent is speaking that, and I'm speaking volumes, and I ask that the universe, the divine, come in and intervene. I ask that the universe and the divine come in and intervene in this situation. I call judgment. I call judgment on this man and the unknown woman and on my family members. I call spiritual judgment. And so now, breaking it down and then you guys know what's going on. Like I stated, I took a screenshot of my screen of my phone because they kept calling me. They called me twice today, unknown number. And I'm saying to myself, why does they keep calling me? In the middle of me talking to my son and whatnot or what have you. So I still have the calls up here. It was an hour ago. Okay. And like I said, I screenshot it. And when I screenshotted it, my son texted me. He was asking me about some money. And then he said, well, Mama, did you get the $9 million? I'm like, what? I ain't got no damn money right now. What are you talking about? And I'm just texting him. I got the text messages. So it's something about some money that was owed to me. Somebody could have stole this money. Somebody could have been lying about this money. Like they're involving my kids to even give me information. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said the divine got a fine, funny way of doing things. Like, y'all, when I tell you my son called me, was texting me, and I'm texting him back, y'all, the picture popped up. And I just I don't know, it's just divine intervention. I don't know. The divine was just like, tap the screen. I'm like, God damn it. And I sent him the fucking picture, okay, of the screenshot of them calling me from numerous numbers. But the video of the TikTok that I was loading to my channel was loading on my page, and it popped up. And it got it, and he saw the cards, okay? He saw shit, okay? He saw it. he saw it. And he ain't scared to open up his mouth. And that's why I love my son. I ain't even gonna lie. That's why I would never change the way that I feel about my kids. Because my kids don't give a damn. And I'm not saying that in a disrespectful way, like they don't care, they're gonna disrespect you type of thing. No. They're open-minded. Okay? They like their mama. Okay? If they know something going on, they feel something going on, hold on, wait a minute. I done texted and try to ask her this. These boys done picked up the phone. Honey. They picked up the phone and called me and said, is that Ted Rose? He said, is that Taro? I said, well, what is you talking about? What is you talking about? And y'all, I could not. I mean, oh my God. I was just kind of fluttered because I didn't know what to say. Y'all started smiling. You know, when you kind of hurt that they find out shit, you kind of, it's like, God damn. God damn. And it's like, here's divine truth coming out. You know, Ace of Swords is standing out. You cannot tell a lie. You cannot. And I was going to tell that lie, and divine like, nope. Whoa. What you say? What did you say? And I said, what about the cards? What about the cards? What about them? And I said, I'm doing it to protect y'all. And then my kids they just start going out, oh, protecting us. You ain't got to protect us. We're protected. We're in the state. We the reason why we got took it. We told them lied on you and said, you snapped us. And this, then the third now. There was a situation now. I'm putting this in this story because this is going to make sense. Now, I was raised in foster care. I had a little girl named by the name of Kimberly. Okay, my little girl was taken from me at 8 months. Okay, I was lied on living with the Taylor family. This lady lied and said that I slapped her daughter. She said I put my hands on her daughter. And I never touched this child. I never touched it. The girl was kind of, seemed to me at the time, you know, I was very fast advanced. The girl seemed like she was kind of off. So I didn't really talk to the girl. I kind of stayed a distance and I talked to her husband's daughter. Okay, the girl would come over there all the time and she was a tomboy. So I'm a tomboyish, you know, so I'm going to hang with the girl, the tomboy girl, you know, and we go to the park. We did things together, you know. The other girl didn't do anything. You know, she was quiet. She was always, you know, kind of closed off to herself. And they end up kicking me out of their home, and I couldn't see my daughter anymore. And they took me away, and they told me that I would be able to see my daughter. And by the time I got visits when I got another placement, by the time I got the visitations, my daughter didn't even know me. My daughter was like maybe 12, 13, 14 months. She was crying out the window for the Taylor. And they were saying, well, we told her to show you the pictures. We told her to tell you who her mama really is. And I have a stepdaughter named Alexis. And she will be there at the visits. Me visiting my daughter there. And she was like, Mom, Nanny. She called me Nanny at the time. She said, Nanny. She said, she don't know you? I said, no, baby. She don't remember me or nothing. I told her the truth. I said she was taken from me as a baby. You know, and I would not lie. I would have to tell the truth. She was taken from me at 8 months. Okay, I was falsely accused of putting my hands on someone. And it wasn't true. So they took my baby from me and I never seen her. After that visit with my stepdaughter, I never seen my child again. I was so discombobulated. I ended up signing. I was under a spell. Now that I'm awakening and I know what's going on, I was under a spell for me to sign my rights away. I remember I was in delusion. I was scatterbrained. I was just staring off. I was so like, you know how someone put a woo you? That's how I felt when I was signing my rights away and I was just sitting there. And she was saying, okay, Mr. You can go now. You know, we'll make it where she set up appointments for you to see the baby, this, that, and the third. I never saw my baby. I supposed to met that lady at McDonald's on Washington Boulevard by MLK. The lady never showed up. She never came by. I called her. She never answered the phone. She literally deleted me out my baby's life. Now, when my pawpaw passed, before my pawpaw passed, he said the man came over there and let him see Kimberly. And he said that see her one good time because you'll never see her again. That's what he told. That's what my grandpa told me before he passed away, before he got old and sick, he told me that that man said that. And I never said nothing else about it. I didn't even tell any other family members in the family what my papa told me. I never mentioned it because I was so hurt. I was devastated. You know, nobody helped me to get my daughter. Okay, but my baby father. I went to classes. I went to psychological class. They lied on me. They said that I was mild retardation. Come on, man. They said that I was crazy. I was slow. I was special. Like as I say, like that ass. They did some lies on me, honey. Okay. They put me up in this place for psychological testing. They made it seem like I was on heavy drugs. I'm walking up in this place. These people looking at me like I'm like, what are you doing here? Are you a worker? I said, no, ma'am, I'm not a worker. I said, I'm a client. She was like, well, what are you doing here? You don't look like you're on drugs. I said, I'm not. I said, I was sent here through CPS to get my daughter back. And I was like, well, you don't need to be here. You're fine. She's like, just sign in. You can go. I'm like, what? But that was trying to wake me up. I was full of the world. I had worldly problems. I was trying to get a place to stay. I was trying to get furniture in the home. I was trying to get my home together, me and my baby father, and trying to follow the foundation to get my daughter home. My baby father did all that, and we end up not getting our kids back. They did a hair follicle, and at the time I was still doing drugs, but they went back 5 years. 5 years in a hair follicle. Huh. Moving forward, okay? Moving forward from that. Because after that hair follicle, I never saw my daughter. After that last visit with my stepdaughter coming in, I never saw her. That was all in that progress of me trying to get my daughter back because she didn't know me. And like I stated, I ended up signing my rights away, but I was confused. I was in a woo. I knew it. I remember myself sitting there and going through that moment. I remember getting on a bus, and it had a man that I saw him twice on 2 different occasions. He said, do you remember what happened? He said, do you feel comfortable that you signed your rights away? And I was spaced out. Every time he tried to ask me, it was like I was wooed. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was like I was wooed out, like I was under a spell. And after a while, my life went on, and I'm going to skip down to the part where me and my baby father helped me get my children back. Okay, will try to help me get my daughter back. He had a daughter of his own that I was raising. Okay, now I'm going to skip all the way from having my 3 kids to my first son. Okay, me and my baby father is together at this time. Okay, my baby father is kin to Floyd Harmon. Okay, my baby father is a Harmon. I'm not going to tell you his name, but he's a Harmon. So I'm walking down the street, and I'm gonna say this: the first time I met this man, I was in jail. I was on 69. Okay, and I could hear all the girls saying, "Oh, he fine. Oh, look at him." Da, da, da. They were just all girls hollering and trying to get his attention, and he's looking at me, and I'm standing there. I remember I was young. I was real young, and I was hurt. I know that. I remember me being hurt because I knew when I went to jail, it was because of my family. And I was so hurt. I was broken. You can tell I was broken because I'm looking at this man. This man's still looking at me. And I'm not saying nothing. I'm just looking. And eventually I ended up turning my head or whatnot or what have you and kept going. And after a while, I ended up getting out of jail, and I ended up, moving on with my life. And I ended up getting pregnant by my baby father. Like I stated, I was living with my grandparents. And right during this moment, y'all, I end up, how would I say this? I was walking to the clinic, okay, with my baby father. And I said I was walking to the clinic. I was walking from the clinic, okay? And while I'm walking down the street, this man passing by in a red car. I don't know if it was a Honda or what. I don't know what kind of car it was. I just know that it was a red car and it had dark tinted windows. This man circled the block at least 2 or 3 times and walking me, like cruising, like literally cruising, like trolling me while we walking down the street. Now at this time, y'all, I don't know nothing about trolling. I don't know nothing about gang stalking. I don't know none of this stuff. Okay, all I know is that, I got my boyfriend walking down the street. I'm pregnant. I'm tired. I'm ready to get to the house. I'm thinking I'm living a good life, but not knowing my whole family was setting me up. Okay? And I'm going to tell you how. I knew. So I'm like, get fuck away from me. What the fuck you think you is fucking with me? I'm talking shit to the guy. And my baby daddy, like, Erica, just calm down. You walking this hot, you got the baby in his stomach, chill out. I got it. So I shut up. I stopped talking to him. So my baby daddy walking behind me and he like shooting the guy on, like, go on, man, go on. And I'm like, not dawning on me, nigga, you know him. But I'm not thinking this. But now that I'm awakened, nigga, you know this nigga. Cause why you not mad, nigga? Why you not mad? He wasn't mad. My baby father was not mad. Any other time, my baby father would be like, well, damn, who the fuck is this? Who you know him? That's how my baby father would be. My baby father was from Compton. So Compton, and he was just like, I don't know, like he was a Compton dude. So he was just like he'll ask me like, you know that person? And I'll be like, no, or yeah, or whatever. I didn't know him. My baby father knew him. So I was being set up by my baby father being the image anyway. So after all of this, I end up, how would I say this? I end up getting to my grandparents' house. When I got to my grandparents' house, my family members were sitting outside. They were outside, remember that. It was like they ain't gonna say they was waiting on, but they were just sitting outside. Now that I'm awakened, they were waiting on me. They knew that man was trolling me down the street. They wanted to see was I mad or upset. They knew that man was hired that year to watch me. That's how I know when I tell you this man, it's just, hold on, because I'm skipping certain parts. So, Lord, this is a motherfucking tea. I just got to stay calm. Man, I've been done so wrong. I don't even know why God ain't letting me cry right now. I should be literally shedding tears. For real, for real. That's how I know they taking control over my emotions. They really doing it. They have done a lot. They've done a lot. Controlling me. It's just a lot. So anyway, y'all, let me just speak the truth. So in this situation, y'all, I get home or whatever. Like I said, it seemed like the family was waiting on me to get there, whatnot, or what have you. Time goes on. I never saw the person car again. I never saw him again. Out the picture, out my way. And y'all, this man stayed in Fort Worth. Okay? Fort Worth, I stayed in Beaumont. So that's why I never saw the car again, because he didn't live out here. He was the hitman to take me the fuck out. He was hired to study me, to learn me. Okay? Watch me. Observe me. Find out information about me. Okay? They even gave him documents. At this time, my auntie worked at the hospital. Okay? My auntie was my mama's sister, real sister. So they were able to get documents and information from my mom too about me. Okay? After this situation occurred, years later, passed down the line, I was in an abusive relationship with my baby father, which is Chester Rocio. And I had a son by him. And I would get beat. I would get beat all the time. Woo, man, I got my ass beat. Okay, I got beat all the time. It got so bad, it was in the public's eye. Okay, information would go back to my baby father. My baby father would send them pictures of him with a gun and, just strapped up, talk about, nigga, you put your hand on my baby. Mom, I'm coming for you, this, that, and third. I was just done so bad by my baby father. And after that shit went on, I ended up leaving him because the man was just beating me. It was like I was a punching bag. Okay. And after a while, I ended up leaving the guy. After 5 years being in a relationship with the man, I just got up and just like, I'm tired of it. He beat me one night and I was ready to leave. And actually, I called my stepmama that day that he jumped on me to leave, and I didn't leave. I ended up staying. And that next night, he jumped on me, and I ran out the house to the neighbor's house across the street. Because I would always go to the neighbors next door. Okay, and this was like on Avenue B that I stayed at this house with my baby father. I ran across the street because I always go to the old people's house. This time I saw it was a younger woman, so I knew she would have helped me because the old people couldn't really do nothing. I feel like they were kind of scared too. But the lady across the street, she helped me. And she called the police. And y'all, the police took me from over there or whatever. They brought a lady cop. I was so happy. That man took the door hinges out. It was just a lot of shit that happened. Okay, I'm not going into details about it. I'm just giving you a run around of how I met this dude, Floyd. So after that, I was still talking to my baby daddy. My baby daddy was still alive, but I stayed with my other baby daddy, which is Chester. When I left him alone, I got me an apartment in Old Town. I ended up going back to the man after I moved out the apartment in Old Town. And when I did leave him again, I went back to Old Town. It's a town called Old Town in Beaumont. And I went back. And at this time, I ended up getting my own place in West Virginia Manor. Okay? Now, this is where this all comes in, that where Floyd played the part in my life. I'm still doing my thing. I ended up getting visited because my baby father took care of my kids. But my baby father and us talked. And as I got stable and away from my abusive relationship, I got to be able to see my kids and be around my children, okay? During this time, I end up, how would I say this? I end up being with, meeting Floyd. I don't know how it ended up happening. I think I ended up messaging him again, or he messaged me or whatever. And he came over one night. And the night that he came over was afternoon. It was in the afternoon. It was the afternoon he came over. And when he came, we made out. And then we left. And, like, I don't know, when you messing with when you different with a person that does spell work, the sex is different. It hit different. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. Okay, it hit different. So I'm like, okay, it was sex. To me, it was just sex. But after a while, it's like I started feeling some type of way, and then I never heard from him again. I'm like, well, what the fuck happened? So I just moved on. I don't take much, baby. I ain't about to run behind no man. I'm not supposed to run behind no man, baby. I'm sorry. Okay, I just didn't. But as time went on, I started dating my baby father again. I started dating my boyfriend again. Like, it was just back and forth. Like, okay. So during this time, my dad was around. My dad was being supportive of me. My dad would help me. I would help my stepmom. All this stuff was going on. So this man really didn't have no room to come in my life because my life was occupied. Okay, very occupied. Okay, it had went to the point where I lost my baby daddy, and my other baby daddy was there. I think at the time I was pregnant, so he had to come and help me move, and he was tearing up my shit, and his mom had to come. So it was just a lot of things that I experienced during this time, and I just didn't have no room for this man to come back in my life because I was pregnant. I was moving on with my life, and I moved to from West Virginia Manor to Sunlight Manor. That man never came around my life. Okay, I moved on. So I ended up moving from Sunlight Manor to South Park. That's when he started coming back around. That's when I stayed at South Park, across the street from South Park Middle School. Across from the field, they had some duplexes sitting in the back. And one of my baby daddy people told me about the place. I went to go look at it. I ended up applying. I ended up getting the place. I think my sister used to rent from this man or something like that. Our sister knew the guy or whatnot or what have you, and they were telling me about the people. So I just was like, okay, I'm going to apply. So I got the place, I moved in, and I ended up texting Floyd or whatever. And at this time, I was always close to my family. I was a family person. I didn't never really hang out with a whole bunch of girls and a whole bunch of guys. Like, that wasn't me. I was family oriented. So anywhere I was going, it was either my family house, to the grocery store, to the, to the bank, to the, taking care of business, going to the doctor's office or something like that. I was always with my family, or going towards my family's house. So after a while, this man popped up. I didn't tell nobody about him. I don't know why. And that's not me. That is not me to not tell nobody about this man, about somebody I'm talking to, y'all. And now that I'm awakened, that's odd. That's very odd. That's very suspicious that I did. Because, baby, you don't know. Everybody knew that I talked to Kevin. And that was a guy that I was crazy about him. Like, I'll be calling him at my grandma's house. Where you going? Like, people can say, yeah, she ain't lying. She was crazy about Kev. But this guy, this Floyd guy, it was something about him was special. I ain't going to lie. It was something about him special. I didn't want to say too much. I didn't want to startle that man. That man sparked something in me that really changed me forever. Changed my whole life. Tore my life up. But I'm going to get to that. So at this moment, y'all, I met this man. He come to my house 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, why this man here? And I look out the window. I'm like, dang, what he doing here? And I just, some say, lay down and just go back to sleep. So I lay down and go back to sleep. It was form of like, now that I'm talking about, it was more like he was telling me to go to sleep. He was penetrating my dream states. And I didn't know. I didn't know exactly what was going on. So this crazy because whatever went on, he held it. And he has told everybody else. So it went from that to y'all, one day he came over and I actually just was in the car talking to him. He told me about his marriage, whatnot, or what have you. He told me that, he wasn't happy, that he was getting divorced because he felt like the girl trying to change him, this, that, and third. And I'm like, okay, we end up making out, whatever. I moved on or whatever. And I don't know, it's just like he didn't really, I don't know, it was like something with me and him didn't really kick off. Like, I don't know if he was like, it ain't the right time yet. She still probably heard about that guy. Because the guy that I used to talk to, I was in love. And I went to see him at the hospital, and right at this time that this man, Floyd, came in my life, this man had just passed away. So it was kind of like how would I say this? It was kind of like to heal me. I felt like he came in to heal, but I was healing him, it seemed like to me. I was consoling him, and I'm just, just out here just living life, taking care of kids. And so it went from that, y'all, to what happened after that? I think I ended up moving. I don't remember what happened after that, guys. It was so much shit went on. I ended up getting an apartment in the West End. Yeah, I got an apartment in the West End, and you're gonna hear that in the video. Okay, it's in the video. We talking about it in the video. We're talking to each other. The screen is black on the video, and it's a video recording. I'm recording him. And I'm going to give you a hint. He said, you don't even remember where you lived at. I said, yes, I did. I lived in the West End by Rural Gym. Don't do that. That's what I stated. So back to this story. So I moved to the West End. I really didn't have any thing in my house, like no furniture or nothing. And this man, I ended up calling him. And I asked him for help, and he showed up and he showed out. I'm not going to lie to you. And anything I needed, he came through. He came through. But during the process, I ended up marrying him in the spirit. I didn't know really I was going through a spiritual awakening. But during this time, he had done went to the schoolhouse, to my child's school, giving him, I guess it was witch powder to awaken me, or something happened where I started going to he's telepathically started talking to me. I don't know how this shit happened. I don't know if they put stuff in my food. I don't know how did this shit happen. I don't know. It's that part kind of get confusing to me, because how you start connecting to me to talk to me telepathically. I guess it's just my psyche. I started knowing I had psychic abilities, because I remember one day he said, come to the window. I'm outside. And I'm like, you outside? I'm like, I hear you. You talking to me for real? And I'm like, this shit ain't real. So y'all, I'm giggly. I go to the window. I see the truck. But I didn't see the color of the truck. I just saw the lights. So I got scared. So I repped away from the window. I'm like, I'm tripped out at this point. I'm tripped out. I can't lie to you. I'm freaked out. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, oh my shit. I got these gifts. Like, oh, you know, just this all kind of shit run through my mind. So I started getting into tarot. I started understanding the tarot cards. I started doing love readings. I'm like, oh, this is my person. I'm literally making videos on live. And I'm like, it's called, my channel was called Power Star Mom Tarot 888. My channel is on that page. So this was like back in 2015 or something like that. And I was awakening, but I wasn't all the way up like I am now to break down what really happened or about my spirituality and about accepting a spiritual call to be the curse breaker off my family bloodline. And doing this whole process, he was there, and I was hoping that, and I had told him that I really did. I'm being me. I can't be nothing else but me. And it's like, I want to cry, but it's like, don't cry, talk it. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. I feel that. Okay, so back the fuck up, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So after that, I told him, I thought I started to keep talking to him because I'm like, eventually he'll let me know. He'll give me a sign like that, I'm his person or whatever. And it was like, I never got it. All these years, I never got it. He never admit like, oh, yeah, I know you my person. And yeah, this and that and the third. He never kind of admitted to anything. And I always had this feeling like he was in a relationship or he was with somebody. And if he wasn't, he made me feel like some type of way. And when I would always question him and ask him, like, is you with some motherfucking body? Like, we would argue. Because I'm like, if you my person, why the fuck I gotta beg you to make out and I gotta beg you to do this? And it was just like when it came to my sexual desires, it was always an issue. So I was trying to think, like, is he gay? And I'm like, hell no, he can't be gay. He too manly to be gay. And then I'm looking like, well, what the fuck, is something wrong with me? And I started tapping into my higher self. I said, you know what? If I gotta question who I am, this man not for me. This man a false person. So I started to come into awakening. And I started being attacked by people around me. People started coming at me for no apparent reason. And I was a person to help. I wasn't a person to harm nobody. So when certain things happen with other people, I started helping them. And then they would tell me, thank you for helping me. They would apologize for what they were doing towards me. So I would let it go. I would stay to myself. I'd keep my kids in the house, this, that, and the third. And it was like, it was just weird because anytime I need to go to the grocery store, anytime I need to pay bills, anytime I need to pay my rent, that man showed up and showed out. Anytime I need furniture moved in my house, like, he showed up. But it was one particular time he put a watch in the couch. And he didn't, and it was so funny because I was trying to help him move the furniture in. And I should have saw something was up, but when you want somebody or you want to be with somebody, it was just, I don't know how to explain it. It was just, like me being a woman, I wanted to do things or say things, and I felt like I was being held back from expressing myself to this person, to the point I just broke out of my expression, and I just snapped on this person out of I'm just say this. I would want to touch this person or put my hands on them or, hug them, and it wouldn't be none of that. It was like, don't touch me. I couldn't touch that person. I couldn't, embrace that person in no way. It was like, I felt as sometimes I would feel like, damn, he hate me. He don't like me. And I would feel uncomfortable. I would talk to other people about it. And I told one of my cousins, I got a cousin named Erica. I told her. And he told me, like, the next couple of days he came by, he said, you a snitch. You a snitch. I said, what? I said, I'm a snitch. What I snitched about? And then I remember me telling my cousin about him. And that's when, how would I say this? That's when, like, I started thinking about what I told her about him. And that's what made me start putting two and two together. After a while, he started just kind of treating me bad. It's like he started kind of flipping out on me. Like I'll call him and be like, well, hey, you didn't bring me to the store. Or you coming back? I'll have to spend double money to give him. Like, he never supported me financially. Like, every time I got in the car, I would pay my way. I have to give. Okay? It'd be times I'll let him borrow money. He wouldn't even pay me all the money back. It would be times where he's doing money spills on me and I didn't even know what was going on. So he writing numbers down, and next 2 or 3 weeks he asking me for money, and I'm really like, damn, I don't even want to give you this money, because what about my kids? I ain't got no help like that. You're not helping me. You're just bringing me to the store. You know what I mean? And I'm just like hell nah. But I ended up giving it away, and I was pissed. I was mad than a motherfucker. It'll be times where I didn't have no food in my house. This man will bring me a skimpy pack of meat. A skimpy ass pack of meat. I remember that like it was yesterday. A skimpy pack of meat. And I had to feed my kids off of that. Cool. My kids ate. So after that, I ended up moving to Orange. I ended up moving to Orange, and he kind of was not in my life. I was just kind of really doing my own thing. I had got me a car. Was getting my shit together, and I was doing me. But people were still attacking me during this process. I went through so much change, and I didn't really start going through changes until that's what ended up making me leave, because I had paid him money to move me back to Beaumont. He took me to see the house in Beaumont. I didn't get out the car to look at the house. So he like, well, you ain't gonna get out the car and look at the house. I said, no, I'll look at the foundation. It's good. I don't know why, but I was just kind of disgusted for what was going on in my environment where I was living at. It was like kids was coming to attack me when I lived in Orange. They were setting fires in the yard, in the grass, doing rituals while I'm in the house at nighttime on the grass. Like, nah, we're not doing that. So it went from me just, basically like to get out, pushing me out of the house, a spirit of me leaving out the home. They doing shit, foul shit. So I would never go. That's why I say I would never live in Orange, because that was foul what I experienced. That was foul as fuck. People coming to my yard and they setting fires. They're doing rituals while we in that motherfucker knocked out. The next day we go outside, we see a whole big fire. Like, what? The grass burnt. Like, what the fuck? So it went from that to, I just kind of cut communication a little bit the time that I was there. I was just looking for other places, this and third. I actually had him to co-sign for me a house, to move in the house. This house that I co-signed, I asked him to co-sign. I paid them for it. And I ended up moving out the house. And I was actually sent documents from the city to move out the house, because the house was, it had ended up getting tagged by the city of Beaumont, because the house was flooded. The pipes were bust. I couldn't use water. The toilet was backed up. So I bought me a car. No, first I bought me a ticket. I bought all me and my kids a ticket to go to California. I said, fuck that. I ain't going to California. I'm going to buy me a car. I'm going to drive to California. So I left and I went all the way to California. But before I left, I asked my family to help me. I asked them to help me. Nobody wanted to help me. I talked to my little sister. I said, I need help. Me and my kids can't stay here. We need somewhere to stay. The gas is, there got gas in here. Me and my kids, we can die in here, basically. And it was just like nobody really gave a fuck. They were already prepared to sacrifice me. They didn't care. They didn't give two fucks. So I was like, okay, I'm gone. I don't owe y'all shit. You don't owe me shit. I'm leaving. So I left. I went all the way to Cali. I came back. I went to Decatur. But during the process of little things happening, I called him. And It was just like, it was very cold to me. Like, it was just, don't give a type of fuck, don't care, and after a while, I ended up finding me a place and getting me together or whatnot or whatever. And I ended up eventually moving to Fort Worth, Texas. I was in the Decatur, Texas, at Beaumont Inn, working there. And all from there, the authority was involved, and the people was putting me out. The people talking about taking my kids. That's how my kids end up getting taken in the system, okay? Because these people, they were just reporting me for some stupid shit, lying. Oh, well, she don't have nowhere to stay, and she's leaving the motel. Like, they were reporting to the police where I was going. They're reporting to the police my whereabouts, where I was leaving. Like, if I left the motel or whatever, they will say, oh, well, if I quit the job, I'm going to say this, I quit the job, and I'm outside waiting for an Uber, they calling the police to trespass me. I'm not making a scene. I'm not causing a scene. Or I'm just standing there waiting for my ride to come, and the police come up and they're saying, oh, well, they want you trespassed. I'm like, okay, fine. They're asking me, oh, well, where are you going? Where you and your kids are going? And do you know anywhere, this and that? I'm like, look, hey, bro, just leave us alone. Just give me my ticket and we'll go ahead. They made it as though it was their business to find out where we were going. Okay, I don't know if it was for our protection. I don't know if it was, because my family had a hit on me and these people knew what was going on and they didn't tell me and it was protecting me. I don't fucking know. But my kids ended up getting taken, okay, to the state. And in this meantime, they was trying to make it seem like I was a danger to my kids because I was scared for them to take my kids from me. I was holding my kids and they're like, oh my God, don't you touch that baby. They drawing weapons on me and shit. I'm looking at them like, what the fuck, you about to kill us? I'm grabbing all my kids, and the woman hollering, talking about, don't you hurt the kids. Like, bitch, you was a whole reptilian. What are you saying, lady? Now that I'm awakened, I see her. She's a reptilian. And you talking about, am I going to hurt my kids? Y'all are over here harassing us. You're asking me where I'm going. That ain't none of your business. Why are you concerned? Who are you? What's your name? How you doing? Where you know me? You know my children, you know us. That's what you would think a normal person would say, but that wasn't the case. It was totally opposite. So after the situation, they end up transporting us. The police end up transporting us to Fort Worth, Texas. They asked us, they had a church to come. A church came and put us on a bus. And they brought us to Fort Worth, downtown, in a very, very poor population. Okay? Mind you guys, I never left the state of Texas ever in my life until that moment then. Okay, mind you, I got 4 kids. I'm going through a spiritual journey. I'm trying to find my way through. I'm trying to get stable. In this meantime, all of this shit going on, these people are literally destiny swiping me. Okay? My person that I said was my person destiny swiped me during this whole situation. I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't know how to speak on it because it was so much happening. Every time I looked up to get stable, it was something going on. When I did get stable, y'all, these people was coming back to get my kids repeatedly. Okay? It would be so, to the point it would be so like aware to people in the apartment complex. They would say, that lady ain't had them kids 2 months and y'all back here taking that lady kids again. That girl not doing anything. Da, da, da. People were taking up for me. But it was an inside job. It was a fucking inside job. And they trying to keep me to stay calm. But these people work behind the scenes and they were reporting me. My kids will miss 1 day of school. Don't you know they sent a principal to my house? What type of shit is that? Asking for my child. You ain't asking for the parent. Why the fuck is you asking for my son? He's a child. I'm the head of this household. You talk to me. These people was coming, these reptilians. Okay? Coming for my child. I told my kids, go in the back. I said, can I help you? Don't even put your eyes on. What's up? What you here for? Can I help you? Oh, we just want to know what I ask you. No, you out of jurisdiction. You shouldn't even be on my property. You should not even be here. You're crossing jurisdiction. Okay? And it went from Me, people telling me to move my kids out to school, me not really getting no help from people not really helping me, people just say little things and keep going, you know, and I just had to figure out my own way. But when I ended up leaving that apartment, and this is this address is on my ID. What's the name of that place? Book something Brook or something like that. Apartments, or that's the street. Excuse me, that's the street that I lived on. And during this situation, y'all, they were spiritually attacking me. The neighbors were was knocking my pictures off the walls, knocking the pictures off the walls, hitting my son with it. My son would sit down and play his game, and the picture just fly off the wall. Boom, hit my son on the hand. And he's like, oh, he don't even know what's going on at this point. He's a kid. You know, he's like 10, 11 years old. He don't understand what's going on. And I know what's going on. I'm like, I say, look, come on, let's go. So I picked the picture up. We leave out the house. Okay. I didn't say nothing to my son, but I'm observing everything. I know what's going on. This is spell work been happening and whatnot. So I called my person. I told him what was going on. I told him that the man was throwing shit at my door and throwing food at my door, putting signs up on the door. Like, I sent him all kind of pictures. Don't you know that motherfucker blocked me? He blocked me. So I went to a barber. I said, I need a gun. I need you to help me. I need a gun. And he said, what you need a gun for? I said, my neighbors are harassing me. This, that, and the third. And I know I was talking to some beast. Okay, I'm not going to put the man out there, but I was talking to a beast that I knew could probably guide me the right direction or give me some type of woman advice or what the hell to do. Okay, he advised me to move. Okay, I said, okay, that's cool. I still need a weapon. He didn't want to get me one because he knew I'm in business. When a woman like me come in and I'm calm, you better watch yourself. I'm not to be fucked with, not when it comes to my kids. So help me God. And I try to be respectful. But when you play with my children, baby, yeah. And I knew that man knew the best thing to do was do spell work on me, because once I broke free, he knew it was going to be on and popping. And it is. So y'all get buckled up and ready to go on a roller coaster, because, baby, you about to get some tea from this story. So y'all, after that, y'all, my kids ended up getting taken again. These people called, and the lady came to my house and she said, well, ma'am, I need to see this, that. I said, no, you're not welcome in here. I started doing my research. I was told, they're not welcome by the state of Texas state law. You have to go out into the public and let them start visiting you with your children. I said, they ain't taking my kids this time. I went over there. I told her she can meet me at McDonald's down the street from where I lived at. She met me there. Saw my kids, talked to them, they're fine. Okay? I go on, they closed the case. Now, a situation happened where I was just constantly being harassed. There, the police, the man had put a lock in my door. It was just a lot of things. I'm not gonna spit all that. Let me skip that. Let me get to the point with this man. So as I went on with my kids get taken, I ended up moving from Fort Worth. No, before I moved from Fort Worth, I ended up calling Floyd while I was in the process of moving out of that apartment that I was being harassed by the neighbors by. Okay. During this time, I called my person like, hey, I'm about to come down there. I want to hang out, this, then the third, da-da-da. So he's like, oh, yeah, you coming down here? He's like, oh, it's my birthday, da-da-da. I'm like, oh, well, I'll be there in the morning. And he's like, oh, I thought you was coming tonight. I said, no, I'm coming in the morning. And so he was like, oh, you for the shit, this, then the third. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll be there in the morning. Like, whatever. So I come the next day or whatever, and we go to a motel. I'm noticing we go to the same motel in the same room. I'm like, what the fuck? Why we keep going to this room? So y'all, I started getting scared. I'm not gonna lie to you. I started getting scared, but I was so, I felt like I needed him. I was in love, y'all. I was so in love. I ain't gonna lie to you. I love this man, and I don't know what really drew me to love. I'm just gonna say, to tell you the truth, I loved him so much because he was there. When nobody else was there for me, that man showed up. I'm not gonna lie. a man showed up. And it's kind of hard to kind of distance yourself from a person. Like you really gotta put your feet down, and mean business. And that's what I see me doing, put my feet down and mean business, because I loved him. And I was like, okay, he won't hurt me. He know I love him. Like, he not gonna hurt me. And for a while, I started to feel like I was being hated by this person. For a while, and I just was quiet. I didn't say nothing. And I started observing the way he would handle me. And I'm like, Lord, like, why does man see people not doing right by me? Why he want to do me like other people do me? I just really just started questioning myself, and I just felt so alone. I just felt like nobody gave a fuck about me, bro. Like, nobody didn't give a fuck. And I met my best friend came when I ended up moving back to Baltimore. My best friend came to my grandparents' house, and I was so hurt. I was so hurt. I was so happy she came. I'm sorry, y'all. This shit real for me. This shit real. My best friend came, and I was crying. She always be like, "Oh, bitch, why you crying? You cry, baby. You always crying." And I just, I was embarrassed for what I went through. My kids being taken from me, so I just kind of stayed away from people. That was my only friend I had. And I ended up staying with her daughter. And I just, talking to my person while I'm still going through what I'm going through, but I'm like, my emotions blocked off. And I'm sensing it, and then I'm going through attacks by other people. And I just thought, like, well, why am I going through this? Like, what is the problem? And I just, it was just so much going on. And while I'm talking to my person, y'all, we going to the same fucking motel. Every time, it never failed. We go to the same fucking motel, the same room. So I'm going to tell you something. I get to this motel. And we'll get into it in the spirit. I slap the shit out of him in the spirit. And he pissed me off. He make me mad. I put my hands on him in the spirit because, it's like what you not understanding, what you not seeing, what you not getting, like I'm hurt, like you hurting me. What are you not doing? What are you doing? And it went from that to us going to the motel. And I remember he walked by me. And he said, yeah, slap me now. But we telepathically communicating. And I'm like, oh, shit. And I just looked at him. And he just looking at me like, yeah, bitch, you slapped me. And I'm just like, oh, shit. Like, this is really real. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything that I'm experiencing, like, this is real between me and him. I start to really, like, kind of kick in with the connection. And I'm like, okay, so this my man. This my boo thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I, on the cool, I'm confident a little bit, but at the same time, I started to get scared. I started to fear. One night he left me there. He went to the store, and I had told him. I said, I think when he came back, I said, or I told him before. I said, don't ever leave me here again. Don't ever do that. And I meant that. And I don't know if he was just like, or fuck she tripping on or whatever. But I guess he started to figure like I was figuring out something. So we're in the room, and I started to notice like why we making out the same way. Like I don't feel comfortable doing it like the same way. Like let's do something different. So I'm at this time, I'm in love with this man. So I'm like, well, shit, let me do this to you. Let me do that to you. Like, I want to explore this man. Like, I want to try all kind of stuff with this man. And then I'm talking to other women. I'm having conversations. This time, y'all have a Beagle account. So, women have like hot women conversations. And, like, you want to try other things, but at the same time, you got other things on your mind. But when you get this person, it's like, damn, like I finally got a peace of mind. I found a way. I found an escape and everything. That's how I felt. And after a while, I started to see like he's stealing money from me. I'm being robbed from all my blessings. I'm not seeing nothing happening for me. I'm seeing people come against me. I'm hearing people just throwing like little hints at me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the fuck did I do? What the fuck is the problem? Like, so one day. I got to after I left my best friend home. I went to my grandparents' house. I ended up getting a house over there on the other side of town, and it was just a lot of things that happened to me with this person. I really couldn't keep note of, but I have a tablet. I was writing things down where people would attack me. My person would tell me to turn my camera to my driveway. I'm like, why are you telling me to do that? So one day I go in and I turn my camera to the driveway, and then he starts showing me that his truck was sitting in the down the street. I'm like, your truck? Like, you here? That's what I'm thinking. And so one day, I'm walking down the street, and a guy that was outside cleaning his truck started harassing me, started talking shit to me. And I talked shit back to him, and shit, I called the police on his ass. So people in the neighborhood started just fucking with me for no reason. It was one day I was outside, and I'm on Bigo, y'all. The man said, I run this motherfucking block. I run this block. Who the fuck you think you? You don't run shit around here. And I'm like, oh, who you talking to, me? I said, y'all, they trolling me. I said, let's get him on film. So he's on live. Everybody see him, so people start calling the police. They were telling me to call the police. I said, no, y'all call the police. I'll give people my address on Bigo to call the police, so the police get there or whatever. I kept making jokes. I said, man, that man's so old. I said, if I kick that man, he'll fall down and hurt himself. Because he was an old man. He was an old man talking shit to me. And it was just shit just happened, just random shit. People just doing shit. Like I would do readings, like in the middle of the night, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, they just start shooting. Pow, 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 pow. I come outside, sit on the porch. Like, it ain't nothing, that don't scare me. They were trying to intimidate me, like, as to say, oh, I'll kill you if you speaking your truth. Like I was being threatened for not to speak out for what they were doing to me. It got so bad till they were saying it was a third party that was trolling me or coming at me, siphoning my energy. They would have people jump on me at the stores. Okay? People that don't even know me. People that and some of them knew of me, but I don't know if they were told lies about me or what. But they would have just people people I didn't even know that was coming for me. In my own neighborhood. I grew up in that neighborhood. Okay? And it went from that to, me getting a job. And I got the job at Jack in the Box. Y'all, these people will harass me while I'm walking down the street, fucking with me for no reason. It'll be to the point where I have to call the police for a standby. Okay? Just to walk to work. They will harass me while I'm walking to work. So when I get to work, y'all, I'm working. Y'all, I didn't even get paid for a whole month. I had to call a fucking cops to get a fucking paycheck. I had to give these people my rounding count number 5 or 6 times. Like, and they started telling me your money in your account. I'm like, no, ma'am. And I thank God for me being a respectful person. I never once went off on a lady or cut the lady out or none of that. I kept it cute and calm. You know what I mean? And all through the whole time I recorded. I was live, okay? And when the police get there, they want to give me a check. Next time, another time happened, they were talking about, oh, your check not here. That was my last check that I'm supposed to get. And I'm like, no, y'all gonna give me a check or give me my cash or something, but I'm not leaving here till I get my money. So it went from that to my son ended up coming. Okay, my oldest son ended up coming. He asked me to come get him. He said that somebody was trying to pull out a gun trying to kill him in broad daylight. So I asked my friend to take me down there to go get my son. So he let me use his truck to go get my son. I go get my son, my oldest son or whatever. He comes back with me, y'all. I had to move out the apartment. That's how grimy people is. They knew that these people was attacking me in this home, in this apartment that I stayed in down the street from my grandparents. And they knew what was going on. And they were just basically, I feel like they were trying to comfort me and my son. I didn't feel like neither one of us was really safe being around my family members. And my person knew that. They knew I didn't want to be around my family. My person would telepathically ask me, oh, do you want to live with your dad or do you want to live with live on your own? I'm like, by myself, but you moved me right by my family and then you moved me in the house. This man got gas leakage in here. I damn near died in that fucking apartment. This man next door, he don't even have his lights on. Okay, and it's December. This is Christmas time. It's snowing outside. Okay, I'm calling the ambulance for the fire department because you can smell nothing but gas. And then it was one night I was in the house and I kept going falling asleep, but something was waking me up. And I kept getting a migraine headache. So I called the ambulance and I said, I don't know if it's gas leaking or what I said, but my head is hurting, my head is pounding. I give him the address or whatever. The man automatically tell me, go outside, tell her go outside, go outside. And I went outside. I'm like, well, why am I outside? It's carbon monoxide. So they threatened to take his whatever the thing is, they threatened to take it or whatever. He tells me that I'm gonna have to pay for it. I'm like, oh hell no, because you said that man's got the phone. The ambulance got the fire department took the phone and said, oh no. He said, you will be in control of this. He said, because we have told you once before about this situation. So that house don't even supposed to be vacant. Okay, this man, whoever this man was, he was pissed off. Okay, they saw me. They knew exactly who I was. I didn't have to say too much at all. Okay, I could have died. Yeah, I could have died. Okay, let's just simple point blank. So my person ended up coming to the apartment. Now the neighbor runs outside. He runs outside, but I'm gonna tell you something. I had a camera that was in my car. I had a camera that was in my vehicle, and I put the camera in my window. That man had been going to my unit, stealing necklaces, stealing bracelets, stealing lip gloss, stealing hair ties, stealing shit out of my unit, okay? He had full access to, you can easily get in there. I done called the cops plenty of times. Phones missing, all kind of shit missing. Clothes missing, drawers missing, shit just fucking missing. And I said, what did I say? I said, I called her, made a report on him or whatever. And one day, all this shit went on. I ended up writing that shit down or whatever. And my camera had an SD card in it. Y'all, I could not find my SD card that was recording everything that was going on. I guess, I don't know if my person or my baby father or one of my family members passed by and, they didn't want me to see it. Something happened where they went in my house and he stole the SD card out of my camera. Okay. And I couldn't find it. And I knew he was coming in the home. So my person ended up popping up or whatever. I'm going to say this. The man was pulling my sexual energy. The man pissed me off because it was disrespectful. And I could sense him standing right at the kitchen where I'm washing my dishes. The apartment and the walls were just that fucking thin. So I'm tapped in his energy and he's pulling my sexual energy. So I would walk tippy-toed on the other side of the wall in the living room and I pulled a hot pot of water. Bow. And he got scared. You didn't know that was coming, huh? You little freaking bastard. You didn't know it was coming. And the next 2 weeks, he come outside. Oh, I'll say about 2 weeks done passed. He come outside, well, I know Port Arthur. I said, I don't give a fuck about, to myself, I said, I don't give a fuck about who you know. What the fuck Port Arthur got to do with me? But me not donning my person from Port Arthur. So you're like, okay, bitch, I'm going to call his ass to come get you and take your ass out. Bitch, you want to, yeah, that's how that old man was. Like, bitch, I called him to come take your ass out. But me not knowing, he really my hitman. He really here to take me out. Okay? So, he ended up coming, or whatever. When he came, he was like, oh, well, where you stay? I'm the house right on the corner. You can't miss it. I'm right on the corner. It's 2 duplexes right there. It's right the corner. Can't miss it. So it's a sharp turn. It's not a sharp turn, but it's a short driveway. So when you turn, you're like, damn, it's still turning into the driveway. So he turned and you got a truck. So you got to keep turning. If not, you're going to go into the ditch. Just period, point blank. And y'all, some said, go to the window. Y'all, I go to the window. Why the man next door at the truck? Talking to him. Yes. Talking to Floyd while I'm in the house. They don't even see me. The lights off and everything or whatever. So I'm like, I go outside. Shit, what the fuck going on? So at this time, he done drove in the driveway or whatever. And he didn't say, well, what's up with your neighbor? What's going on with him or whatever? He didn't say none of that. I was just I went and got in the car. What the fuck going on? Fuck in this bottle. What the fuck going on? What's up in this cup? So I'm like, get in the car. I'm looking. What the fuck going on? What's up? It took so long. You know? So in the back of my mind, I'm like, what the fuck this nigga doing at your truck? Like, what the fuck is he doing over here talking to you? Do you know this man? In the back of my mind, and I'm looking at him, and he's like, I'm trying to figure out why you in my truck. Nigga, you're here. You're at my house. I'm in the truck. What? And what? What's going on? So it was basically like, this is like a brush off. Like he just kind of brushed it off. So he asked, the dude said something about, he came back to the truck and he asked for a lighter. And I said, here, you can have it. You can have my lighter. He gave me $2. I didn't even want that nasty money. I put that money right in Floyd's ashtray or whatever the fuck the thing was. I just set the money down. I don't want that shit. I don't even like you. You don't like me. So we're not supposed to act. We're not supposed to pretend here because you got one of your helpers and you letting it be known he's one of your helpers. Okay. So before my person, she corrected me. My person came to me in spirit, and I remember sitting on top of him or whatever, and he spit in my face. He spit in my face for that man. And that's when that man came to me and did what he did. And I don't know if that was to blindside me, but when my person came, I was on top of him doing the grown folks thing. And that's even in my song. But the drink he gave me, he had a cup, a Douce in a cup, in a red cup. I don't know if he had something in it, but I honestly can say he telepathically told me don't sip too much. He really did tell me that. I heard, yes, I did tell her that. He said he put it in there without me saying anything. I hear them saying it's true too. It's like they screaming from the ether somewhere. I heard it's true, Miss Stewart. Anyway, I don't believe that. Anyhow, um, where I stayed at, they had a dump truck parked in the back of the house by the apartment when the duplex where I stayed at. During this time, I laid down. We ended up laying down and going to sleep. Well, he fell asleep. I fell asleep too. Why I say I don't believe that shit because I sipped some of that shit, and I really didn't sip a lot because I'm on probation, so I couldn't even drink, you know. So I knew not to drink too much of that shit anyhow, and I'm not a drinker, okay? I'm a social drinker, so it wasn't nothing for me to be all hyped up and happy about for him coming and spiritually spit in my face. At this point, I still felt some type of way. So and then you talking to the neighbor and you brushing that shit off like it ain't nothing. So, excuse me, y'all. So, I end up, making out with him, but I fell asleep. So he wake up, he's shaking me. He's shaking me. I'm laying there. He didn't say nothing. So I want to know, like, and I made a song. I have a music out. And it says that in my song. I'm telling you exactly how I stated. I laid there. And I wanted to know telepathically, what? Why are you shaking me? You think I'm dead? That's the way he was shaking me, like I was dead, like I'm supposed to be dead. Okay? That's the fucking truth. So I laid there. When he stopped shaking me, then I turned around. I said, you leaving? And he was like, he didn't say nothing. He was like, as I say, damn, that bitch didn't die. He didn't say shit. He didn't say nothing to me. He just left. And I got up, I went and locked my door. And shortly after that, my son ended up coming. And I ended up having to move out that home. I had already went to court. These people was already, looking for me to be out. And I wasn't really trying to work with that man to live there anyway because of the conditions of that unit. So I ended up moving with a friend of mine. And my son and us didn't have nowhere to go. I went through a lot of shit dealing with this person around me in my junior, in my energy. I would never want to collaborate or work with that man ever in my motherfucking life. He made sure he stripped everything from me. Okay? He came to kill, steal, and destroy. He had the nerve to fix his mouth and tell me, I let you live, didn't I? And then turned around and said, I hope you die. And then turn around and say, oh, I ain't seen nobody to kidnap, I ain't seen the police or nobody to kidnap your kid, did I? Then turn around and say some shit like, I don't even know if I got this on video or not, but he said something about, now what about if, you know, your daughter or somebody get raped and they pin them down and this, that, and the third, as to say, like he was telling me his daughter got raped or they was threatening to rape his daughter if he didn't do shit towards me. And it's like, nigga, you picked the side to stay on, so stay over there with that and don't bring your problems over here to me. It was like, as to say, since my daughter getting threatened or whatever going on with my daughter, I'm going to break up your family, this, that, and the third. Like he was constantly doing shit. It was never no peace in anything. And I was always pulled for me to call him. And that's why he would always telepathic me. He would always say out his mouth every time we would talk, he would say, you called me, I didn't call you. But it was more like, I called you, and I need that energy. It would never be really nothing that we talking about unless it's something that he done fucking caused up. Or problem that he done caused. And I'm calling you to solve the fucking problem that you done caused. For you to steal from me again. So I stopped having sex with him when I moved here. And I told him, I said, I asked him about him getting my kids taken. And he looked at me. When I first moved here, he came here. And hold on, wait a minute, back up. Because they want to know, how did I move here? He brought me here. Before I moved here. We were actually out on a booty call. Okay? We were out on the booty call. Wow, we were looking for a spot too. We was looking for a little hot spot. Okay? And we were looking for a hot spot, a little spot or whatnot, or have you. And we circled the parking lot here. Oh no, we didn't circle. We passed this parking lot. And I'm looking. But I'm not looking for him to look to see that I'm looking. I'm looking though. I'm chilled. I'm chilled. Like I'm chilling. But I'm looking. I'm looking. I ain't gonna lie, I was smooth as fuck. I ain't gonna even lie. Like I was like, what are you doing? And I'm not even looking, but I'm looking hard too. I'm like, what the fuck? I gotta remember something. That's what my mind was at. I gotta remember something. So I'm gonna tell you what drew my attention to make me remember the car wash. So when I go down this street, it's like I think this Magnolia deck down there by the corner. We passed by there by that car wash, and I remember that car wash. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I remember the car wash, and I'm like, dang, that's the car wash. I think this the car wash. And then we drove in the little thing, and I'm like, this is that spot. I'm like, no, this ain't it. That is it. Though I think, and then I was like, yeah, this is it. And then he didn't say nothing though. He didn't say nothing. So I'm just reading, and it's like, I don't know. It feels sneaky because it's basically trying to make me feel like as though like he innocent. And I really want to think that, I really want to feel that because I care, but I love my kids too much. I love my kids, man. Like, for a man to tell you they let you live, you planning on killing me. You prompt me up to be sacrificed. That man blocked me out for speaking about certain things until it was time and convenient for him. And that is now. Because the connection, the contract is up in the next couple of days. Yeah. And to think that this man really gave a fuck about me. Hmm. 4 kids. Huh. Huh. And that man helped me and then turned around and betrayed me as though he didn't even know who the fuck I was. That's an organized crime in it all alone. It's an organized crime. This is a motherfucking love-hate story. Okay, I done made music off this shit. And to think that everything he did was a cover-up. It was spiritual. They went and been in the court systems, man. Went in the court system making false reports on me. Working with my family members. Now I got my kids, they brainwashed. They don't even know what really happened. All they know is I guess they told them to lie on me that I slapped them, or they said that I slapped them or whatever, just where they won't be homeless. Just where they won't be on the street. My son said, well, at least they taken care of. We not in harm's way. That's just, that's really fucked up in it alone. And just to see and to know, like, when my son called me like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning about some, about their dreaming, or y'all having them to call me, and then it's just like you trying to steal relationships and bonds and connection from me and my children. Like, ooh, baby, you better just sit back and wait. And baby, when I tell you better sit back and wait, I don't give a, and I know, he would mention certain things in the readings. They said, it ain't no point in suing them. They ain't got nothing. I don't give a fuck about what you don't got. I ain't suing you for what you got. I'm suing you for the lack of respect you have for me. And bitch, I loved you the whole 12 years. And stood by your corner the whole 12 years. You blocked me out for loving my children, and not even say loving my children, but for me to think about my children. You ran this whole connection to the ground yourself. And when I step up and sacrifice the connection and say I don't want nothing to do with your raggedy ass, it was divine timing because you couldn't kill me. And then to sit there to have me in disgrace about what the fuck I know you did to me wrong. Now I got to go clean up this fucking mess that you done and to me, and to explain to my motherfucking seed, to my children, to about what the fuck you've done. And to top it all, to try to make it make sense to them, because they have no knowledge of it. No telling what all he did. Probably stole money, which I know he did that. That ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He didn't have my bank card information. I know he done stole money. I done got information I done called the bank, and I'm paying a whole woman's cell phone bill, and not his. Okay, not even only that, I done turned around and then bought some speakers in a car, and he ain't got speakers, or I ain't got speakers. So where the speakers come from? Then they kept telling me to get the information from Nextspin. And nigga done did some shit. They done did some shit. And I'm going to tell you something. I hope the feds handle it. Because right about now, I can see why I said I had murder on my mind then. Anybody else that walked in my shoes would probably say the same damn thing. But now that I'm awakened and I'm aware of what this person did to me, I don't have a heart for them. I can't say my heart is not open for love for other people, but I don't look at that person the same. I got my guard up and they're going to stay up. Ain't no explaining nothing. Because when that person had a time to explain itself or to speak their truth, they choose to, play crazy or act dumb or act like this, that, and the third. And that playing crazy and playing dumb will get you in a world of trouble with me. So at the end of the day, all this trying to take control over a person, trying to control somebody's kids and trying to make it seem like it's something that it's not when it really is what it is. Because this man was really coming at me and hiding his hand and act like ain't nothing going on, and then made it seem like he wasn't a part of it, or he was telling me what he was doing and he wasn't telling me shit. So if anybody want to know about spiritual law, this man wasn't following the spiritual law. Look, he's saying don't say to no. Fuck that. I'm speaking my truth. The Ace of Swords is standing out. And this person, how would I say this? It's like, during the whole situation that was going on about these spiritual attacks, this person wasn't warning me that there was them. They weren't prevailing that. When I moved here, that's when that person started prevailing that shit. And then was already here at the unit at my home, and then knocking on the door right after. Didn't give me no time to balance or to get understanding of nothing. Talking about an organized, fucked up crime, that's a cold-hearted murderer. Because if I would have let you take me down, you would have took me down. But I want to talk about this apartment, this house, this what was this? A motel. They keep telling me to go back to the motel. I will often look in the middle of the floor, like something happened in there. Like, I don't know, like, it just felt like something happened in there, or something was going to happen in there with me and him. Like, I don't know, but I started, like, sensing them doing spell work next door towards him or whatever. And then I would go and try to protect him from them attacking him or doing something to him. But it was like he was already a part of, he knew what was going on. And I would, like, get scared or feel nervous that he was going to hurt me. I would think all kind of crazy things. I would think like he had a gun in the bag, and, if I fell asleep, he was going to hurt me. He didn't console me. He didn't put his hands on me or hold me to make me feel like I was okay, I was safe. Like, it felt like I was just being stripped. I didn't feel security anymore. I felt like this person was at me, but they keep trying to get me to see what was in the middle of that floor. And he sent me a vision. And I heard that's a true vision. So it was him, his friends, my kids, and I'm standing in the front of my kids, and my kids are like standing on the side of me. And he proposing to me, trying to marry me. And I'm like, no. Why would I marry you? And I'm not happy now. Like, you watched, you witnessed that hurt. That's the crazy part about it. And you abused that, and you took that for advantage and turned around and project your pain on me. That's some hurtful shit. And to sit here like a person gonna go through a cycle again because you show a vision of their kids and you and them, like, ain't none of that. Ain't none of that at all. I don't want nothing to do with this man. It's a wrap. This shit dead. It's over with. It's over with. Ain't no looking back to it. I lost everything. And when I needed him the most, he didn't show up for me. It's over with. Now they're leaving out the unit right now. She slammed the door. I don't really even care. Shit was foul. Shit was foul as hell. I heard, yeah, he set that bitch up. That was some foul ass shit I experienced. It really was. And everything was, on down to them going in the schoolhouse. Even the police was a witness to that. They even showing me the police talking to my cousin while I'm walking my kids in. They were ready. They were ready. He was working for her. That's what they're telling me. And I went to the schoolhouse to enroll my kids, to pick up the papers or to drop the papers off to the schoolhouse for my kids. He was talking to her. And he was saying something about he knew her before. And he just admit that. It's in the video. He said something about I knew her way before I knew you or something like that. But bitch, you work for her. And you ain't saying that, but you putting it out there like you caught already. So it's just, it's sad because people in the family knew my grandmother left me inheritance. They knew that. So I don't know if these people forged my name, took something from me or whatever. I don't know what all they did, but I'm telling you right now, I'm done. I'm done. It's a wrap. That shit was foul. And I know they forged my name on documents because he would telepathically tell me, stop signing your name like that. I will write my name like a cursive E and everything else will be, I'll write my name sloppy. Every time, just because I know they forged my name. I didn't give a damn how I wrote my name. I knew that was forging my name on documentations. Making false reports. I even told him, I said, fuck you, somebody wants to fuck with you, you up there making false reports on me. That nigga got quiet as hell. As to say, how I supposed to know that? Nigga, I want my justice from that. You lied on me. You told a bold-faced lie on me. These people put me in a nut house. Like I had a mental problem. Knowing I had spiritual gifts and talents. Knowing who I was. And that wasn't once, it was twice these people put me in that fucking place. And that dirty bastard supposed to be my person and protecting me. That bitch sat there with them folks and let them do that shit to me. He helped them. I'm done talking about the shit. Do what y'all gotta do with that nigga. I'm done.